trust in God. Because Proverbs 20 and verse 22 says there, "Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee." Because of the fact that people think that I've got to rely on my own strength and my own might in order to keep my enemy at bay. They don't look at it as by faith and trusting in God, that if you rely upon Him and put your faith in Him and trust in Him, that He will actually save you. And if you think that that's such a, well, that's kind of an oddball way of thinking, consider the nation Israel, down to the years. A very small nation, even today, a group of people, fits in a very small, particular geographical location, and a very small nation. And down through the ages, many nations came against it and wanted to wipe it out and wipe it off the face of the earth. You would have thought it would have been an easy thing to do. But yet, down through the ages, God had made a promise to those people to watch over them. And God has watched over them, even though there's been multitudes of different people that wanted to totally wipe them off the face of the earth, yet they haven't been able. Yet they have not been able to, even down through history. It's a lack of faith and trust in God if we would say to ourselves, "I will retaliate and not wait upon the Lord." It was a commandment of Christ that we would not render evil for evil, and that's why in Matthew 5 and verse 39, Jesus said, "But I say unto you that you resist not evil. For whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to your left also." So it was a commandment of Christ. Not only that, but Christ rebukes James and John in Luke chapter 9, verses 54 and 55. He rebukes them because he was going through Samaria, and as they were going through Samaria, the Samaritans realized that these people were from Jerusalem, and they looked like the people from Jerusalem, and they treated them kind of badly. And so because of their bigotry they had toward people that was from Jerusalem, and James and John said, "Lord, shall we call down fire out of heaven?" And he asked them about. He asked them whether they should. He said, "Will it command that fire should come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah did?" And Jesus turned to him and he rebuked them. He said, "Ye know not what manner of spirit you are of. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's life, but to save them." And so they didn't realize what really spirit they were of. They had a different spirit by saying that. Should we call down fire from heaven in order to consume our enemies? That is a wrong spirit that they were of, and Jesus rebuked them of that. Jesus commanded that we resist not evil, that we overcome it with. And Jesus also exemplified this in his own life. When he was reviled, he reviled not. When he suffered, neither did he threaten in any way those that did come in to bring him any kind of harm, either physical harm. And also in Acts chapter 10 and verse 38, when Peter was rehearsing and talking about giving a sermon, he talked about how Jesus of Nazareth went around doing good to all men, healing the sick and everyone that he came in contact with. And so Jesus, even though many people hated him, rejected him, and persecuted him, yet he still went around and doing good. And so he exemplified it for us in our own life. He just didn't say to us, "I want you not to return evil for evil. I want you to return it with good." He didn't just say that for us to carry out, but yet he would act in a different way. He set the example and showed us that, overcome evil with good. Also, this was the preordained pathway for which God calls his people to walk in, because in Ephesians chapter 2, in verse 10 it says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God has before ordained that we should walk therein." God has called us to, to good works, to do good works, not to render evil for evil, but he called us unto good works. And so even though, as I said, it wasn't a Jewish thing, the Jews thought an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Jesus was the one that came and introduced this new concept. Don't resist evil with, overcome evil with good. Do good to those that despitefully use you and treat you badly. Pray for them. And and he prayed for them that Father forgive them for, even on the cross, Father forgive them for they know not what they do. And when you realize that in those particular times that they lived in the time with Jesus, who was brought to the cross and crucified, and during that time there was a great violence and cruelty that was going on in the Roman Empire. Even after the death of Jesus, they went out, they seized Stephen, and they stoned him and killed him. And then when the king saw that, the ruler saw that it brought pleasure to the people, he decided he was going to go and capture some of the apostles. And he captured Peter, and he put him in prison, and he was going to, bring him out and have him killed. But the angel rescued him. But over time, they continually sought out the apostles and others of that particular time, and they killed them for their faith. And even though they killed them for their faith, and this was a very, a time of great cruelty, and there came a time of great persecution where Nero expelled the Jews out of Jerusalem, also the Christians, because he looked at them as being one and the same. But one thing about Nero was being accused of setting fire to Rome and having it burn. And so, in order to get the attention off himself, he charged the Christians with that crime. And so he went out and began to arrest them, and he tortured some of them, he killed some of them, he did various different cruelties to them. He tortured some. As I said, he killed some. Some of them he put animal skins on them. And then he had these packs of